to throw another up here. The greatness is unbelievable. From the class of 1971, this gentleman, you're going to hear his name for the first time, but you're going to hear his name several more times later on today. We'll start with some of his high school individual accolades. This gentleman was a member of the Hamilton 1969 undefeated football team, which you'll hear more about later. He was a member of Hamilton's famed Flying Foursome 68 through 71 relay team, which you'll hear more about later. He was a member of the 1968 one-mile relay team, which I'll tell you a little bit about later. He was a two-time Glenn D. Louts Games champion in the 440-yard dash in the spring of 1970 and 1971. He was a four-time All-County outdoor track recipient in the 220 and the 440, a three-time All-County indoor track recipient in the 300 and 600, and a three-time New York State champion in the 440 in 1969, 1970, 1971. Coach Bob Winters told me that he lost a race freshman year, and that was the last one he had ever lost in high school. He went on for a storied collegiate career. He enrolled at the Southern University in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. In 1972, he became an NAIA national champion in the 440-yard dash with a 45.8 second race. In 1972, he transferred to San Diego State University, where he still holds some of the top 10 records. San Diego State University current record held second all-time in the 440 and first, still to this day, in the all-time in the 440. He holds several Alexander Hamilton school records, which will be on display for you later. And he twice placed top 10 in the US and USA track and field meets in the late 70s. One of the greatest athletes the school has ever seen. Once again, saying it. Please welcome from the class of 71, Jimmy Ray. I had to take Jimmy's accomplishments and spread them out because Jimmy, to give you an indication of what type of athlete this guy is, Jimmy's made it into the Hall of Fame as an individual recipient. He made it into the Hall of Fame as part of the 1969 football team, undefeated. He made it into the Hall of Fame as part of the Flying Foursome, and he made it to the Hall of Fame as part of the one-mile relay team, both of which won Penn Relays championships. Unbelievable. I'll tell you a little bit more about him. Our next recipient from the class of 1994 was one of the most dominant athletes you ever saw play softball. She's a personal friend of mine, currently serves the Elmsford Union Free School District as a teacher, did her time as a coach. One of the greatest people to be around. I tell our kids stories about her success. Now that we have the Hall of Fame wall up there, I actually read articles. There was one article that was mind-boggling to me, something like, you haven't given up a hit in 59 and a half innings or something like that. 59, I'm trying to calculate how many games is 59 and a half innings. Your statistics are insane, so I'm going to just share with the crowd here. Prior to this past year, I'm proud to announce that Alexander Hamilton is the Class C 2021 softball champions of Section 1 again. But we haven't been able to say that since 1993 and 1992, thanks to Kerry Watson. Kerry Watson brought her teams to league championships, undefeated league championships in 1992 and 1993. She was a Class D sectional champion in 1992 and 1993, and the 1993 team went on to be the Class D New York State Public High School Athletic Association regional champions. She had a 6-year varsity softball playing career that began in the 80s and spanned into 1994. She was a 4-time All-State softball selection in 91, 92, 93, and 94. and she had 50-plus wins as a varsity softball pitcher. She was feared when people stepped in the batter's box. I have some stats, thanks to one of her teammates' fathers, who kept everything from the seasons of 1992, and I'll share some with you. She had 4 one-hitters in 1992, just 1992 alone. She had 3 no-hitters. She had 7 shutout pitching performances. She had 153 strikeouts, 22 walks, and a 2.15 ERA. She had a 507 batting average. Her pitching record in '93 was 10 wins, 2 losses, and 3 saves. I'm going to ask you about the losses. 88 strikeouts, 15 walks, and a .25 ERA. Her batting average climbed to a 554, and her slugging percentage over 600. Her on-base percentage at 550. One of the most accomplished softball players to ever come in this building. Please welcome up from the class of 1994, Kerry Watson.
Thank you.